Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving deep into a topic that's close to the heart of every plant-based eater: how to make your veggies last longer. We've all been there. You buy a fridge full of fresh produce with the best intentions, only to find it wilted and sad a few days later. But don't worry, I've got you covered. I'm sharing my tried and true tips and tricks for keeping your vegetables fresher for longer, so you can reduce food waste and enjoy those delicious nutrients. Whether you're a seasoned vegan or just starting to incorporate more plants into your diet, these storage tips will change your veggie game. So grab your reusable grocery bags and let's head to the kitchen. Let's kick things off with leafy greens, the superstars of the veggie world. We're talking kale, spinach, lettuce, all those nutrient-packed greens that form the base of so many delicious meals. Now the key to keeping these delicate greens fresh and crisp is moisture. You don't want them to dry out, but you also don't want them sitting in a pool of water. That's where this simple yet effective trick comes in. Grab a sheet of paper towel and dampen it slightly. You want it moist but not soaking wet. Then gently wrap your leafy greens in the damp paper towel, creating a little cocoon of humidity. Finally, pop those wrapped greens into a reusable plastic bag or container, and store them in the crisper drawer of your fridge. This method prevents the greens from drying out and helps them retain their texture and flavor for longer. Next up, let's talk about root vegetables. These hearty vegetables like potatoes, carrots, onions, and garlic are staples in many cuisines around the world. Now, you might be tempted to toss them in the fridge along with your other produce, but hold on. Root vegetables actually prefer a different storage environment. The cool, humid air of the refrigerator can actually alter their texture and flavor, making them soft or even a bit mushy. Instead, find a cool, dark, and well-ventilated spot in your kitchen for these underground treasures. A pantry, a basket in a cool corner, or even a drawer away from direct sunlight will do the trick. Proper ventilation is key here, so avoid storing them in plastic bags, which can trap moisture and lead to spoilage. Instead, opt for a mesh bag, a basket, or simply store them loose in a single layer to allow for air circulation. Let's move on to a fruit often mistaken for a vegetable: the mighty tomato. Tomatoes are a kitchen staple, adding flavor and vibrancy to countless dishes. But did you know that storing them in the refrigerator can actually dull their flavor and affect their texture? That's right, tomatoes are best stored at room temperature. The cool air of the refrigerator can break down the cell walls of tomatoes, resulting in a mealy texture and a less intense flavor. To keep your tomatoes tasting their best, store them in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight. You can keep them on the countertop, in a bowl, or in a basket. Just make sure they have some breathing room. And here's a pro tip: storing your tomatoes stem side down can help to prevent moisture loss and keep them fresher for longer. Now let's talk about those times when you've got leftover chopped veggies from meal prep or a recipe. We've all been there. You chop up a big batch of veggies with the best intentions, only to find them dried out and unappetizing a day or two later. But fear not, there's a simple solution: airtight containers. These handy containers are your best friend when it comes to storing cut vegetables. Whether it's diced onions, chopped peppers, or sliced cucumbers, transferring them to an airtight container can significantly extend their lifespan. The key here is to minimize their exposure to air, which can cause them to oxidize and lose moisture. So once you've prepped your veggies, pop them into an airtight container, seal it tightly, and store it in the refrigerator. This will help to lock in moisture, preserve nutrients, and keep your cut vegetables fresh and flavorful for days longer. Let's move on to mushrooms, those fascinating fungi that add a unique earthy flavor and meaty texture to our dishes. Now, you might be tempted to store your mushrooms in a plastic bag, but here's the thing: mushrooms need to breathe. Storing them in plastic can trap moisture, creating a humid environment that can lead to sliminess and spoilage. Instead, opt for a breathable container like a paper bag. Simply place your mushrooms in a brown paper bag, loosely roll the top to close it, and store the bag in the refrigerator. The paper bag allows for air circulation, preventing moisture buildup while still protecting the mushrooms from drying out. Let's talk about herbs, the culinary heroes that add freshness, fragrance, and a burst of flavor to our dishes. Now, fresh herbs can sometimes be a bit finicky to store, but there's a simple trick that will keep them vibrant and flavorful for longer. Treat them like fresh-cut flowers. That's right, just like you would with a bouquet of flowers. Trimming the stems and placing your herbs in a glass of water can work wonders. Start by trimming the bottom inch or so of the herb stems, just like you would with flowers. Then, fill a glass or jar with about an inch of fresh water, and place your herbs upright in the glass, making sure the cut ends are submerged. To create a humid environment and prevent the herbs from drying out, loosely cover the glass with a plastic bag or a damp kitchen towel. Finally, let's talk about cucumbers and peppers, those refreshing and crunchy vegetables that add a satisfying crunch to salads, sandwiches, and snacks. Now, unlike tomatoes, cucumbers and peppers actually prefer the cool environment of your refrigerator. Storing them in the fridge helps to maintain their crisp texture and prevents them from becoming soft or wilted. So the next time you bring home fresh cucumbers and peppers, give them a quick rinse, pat them dry, and store them in the crisper drawer of your refrigerator. The crisper drawer helps to regulate humidity levels, creating an optimal environment for these vegetables to thrive. And there you have it, my friends. Those are my top tips for keeping your veggies fresh, flavorful, and full of life for longer. I hope you found these tips helpful, and that they inspire you to stock up on fresh produce without worrying about food waste. Remember, a few simple adjustments to the way you store your vegetables can make a world of difference in their longevity and taste. So, go ahead, embrace the plant-based lifestyle, and enjoy the bounty of fresh, delicious vegetables all week long. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and be sure to subscribe to my channel for more plant-based tips, tricks, and recipes. Until next time, happy cooking!